Okay guys, I'm going to tell you a story today. Some of you that's been watching the channel, you know about this. You know about my young days trying to get the love of a girl named Amy. Usually my friend Boyd, who I went to school with, lived across the street from me. We used to hang out a lot. We were good friends, but you know, there was some other friends in the neighborhood that was friends of convenience. Me and Boyd was friends, but I don't know if he did. If he lived next door to me, if he didn't live across the street, I don't know if we would have been best friends. Anyway, who knows? I had other friends that, you know, that was a little more fun to hang out with sometime. But hey, guy across the street, he's got a television, I got a guitar, I want to play his games, he wants to play my games, so we hang out, right? We hang out. But anyway, he used to help me try to win the love of this girl. And, you know, we're 10 years old. It wasn't like I was trying to, you know, do anything special. You know, I was happy if, hey man, I got to hold her hand. You know, to me that was third base right there. I got to hold her hand. But this is the time where me and Boyd work together to for me to try to get her attention. Hey, this girl's gonna notice me now. She's gonna want to hang out with me. She's gonna want to go to the arcade with me maybe on the weekend. Maybe she'll let me take her to Showbiz Pizza or something. So here's the story. Well, it was the day of school. I don't know what month it was or anything. It doesn't really matter. But I was the only one at school. My friend Boyd wasn't there. We had a very small class. There was only about 10 kids in the class, and it was me and Boyd and another guy named Grady. There was somebody named that kid Grady on purpose. He was there. He was in the class. There was only like 3 or 4 boys. There was another guy named Billy, but Boyd wasn't there that day. And I don't know. I was always hanging out with Boyd. Grady and Billy, they were kind of more on the countryside of stuff. This was really, you know, a small school, and they both owned farms. So, well, they didn't own farms. They didn't have a loan and everything. They didn't really own farms, and they were like 9 years old. Their parents owned farms. So I know Grady would talk about, hey, milk the goat. Milk the goat. I didn't even know you could milk a goat. I didn't even know you could milk a goat until Grady. So, you know, they were on their thing, and Boyd wasn't there at school that day. What? No, Boyd. What am I going to remember that when you had your best friend at school? The one that you cut up in class with, the one that knew you inside and out, the one you could complain to, the one you could talk to, confide in, or tell you didn't do your homework, always had a pencil for you. I don't know about you. I was the kid that never had the pencil. Remember that? Did any of y'all have kids? Were y'all the kid at school, or did you know the kid that didn't have the pencil? That was always me, pencil or pen. Hey, it's test day, and you get out your number 2 pencil. Oh, I don't have it. I don't have a number 2 pencil. I don't have one. Boyd, give me a pencil. I know you got that Care Bears pencil box. I know you got it. It's in your cubby. Go get it. But, you know. So, Boyd wasn't there that day. And it is around, I guess, lunchtime. 12 o'clock. I don't know what time we ate lunch. I can't remember that. I can't remember that much detail. But it was lunchtime. And I don't know why I was late for lunch that day. I remember we would all line up, single file. Teacher was really big about single file. I don't know why. Single file. They wouldn't let you line up. Unsingle file. I don't know what the other line would be called. Single. So whenever a single file line, well, it must have been in the back because I was really late getting to the seating area. I can still remember those green trays. Remember those green trays? We would put them on a little metal rack and go down. I don't know why we couldn't just get the trays with the food on it. It's not like we got a choice to pick out what we got. We got whatever slop they wanted to give us, you know. And everybody always talked about the square pizza. Remember square pizza back in school? Square pizza. Well, our school didn't have a square pizza. No, we had an octagon pizza. It was really weird. Couldn't really fit it on the tray or anything. But could have been pizza day. We had beanie weenie day. That was always the highlight day. I like beanie. I like hot dog. Well, I was gonna say hot dog day, but it was cold hot dog. It was cold dog day because them hot dogs might have been cooked, but it's probably cooked at 6 a.m. They were lukewarm at best. Lukewarm at best. So I got there late, got my tray. Normal place where I sit was already taken or something, and I was sitting, you know, trying to get as close to Amy as I could, you know. So, you know, she needs to ask me for a pencil. I thought I wouldn't have one. I could ask her for one. Maybe if she needs something, I can hear it. She's sitting right there. Hey, I can be the hero. I can give her a notebook pad. Maybe, you know, give her one of my beans and franks or something. But she was sitting there. I came, sat down, picked up the middle of a conversation. I didn't really hear what was going on, you know. Wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but there's certain words that triggered my brain. And one of the words I heard her say was Falcon. Falcon. Now that triggers my brain, you know, when I hear anyone say the word Skywalker, lightsaber, Falcon, Han. And, you know, there's certain words that really trigger me, especially at 10 years old. So there I was, heard the word Falcon, so my ears perked up, you know. Perked up and said, what are they talking about? She started talking about how she really wanted a Falcon. Now, I knew a little bit about Amy when it came to Star Wars stuff. I knew that she really loved Yoda. I mean, you think people was crazy about Baby Yoda today? This girl, or kids, back then, especially girls, they loved Yoda. First they loved R2. They fell in love with R2. He was the one from the first movie. Then Yoda. Everybody loved Yoda. So, and then of course it was Ewoks. We know that. But here she was. I heard her say Falcon. She wanted a Falcon. Oh, there. I could win her. I could give her a Falcon. I could give her a Millennium Falcon to put her Yoda in or R2, whatever else she had. This is probably before Return of the Jedi, so she wasn't putting any Ewoks in it or anything. But man, get her a Falcon. I don't remember what else they said. I just remember that stuck in my head. She wants a Falcon. She likes the Falcon. But the Falcon, anybody that has the Star Wars toys knows the Falcon. This wasn't something you just went and ran over the Revco or Zares and picked up. I mean, this was the Falcon. This thing, I don't know how much it was, probably like $20, but in today's dollars, if Hasbro made the Falcon today, you know, it's $200. But still, I had a Falcon. But I don't care how cute Amy was, I'm not giving her my Falcon. She's not getting my Falcon. There was no way. I don't care who you are, you're not getting my Falcon. So only it was Boyd. So school got over and went over to Boyd's house and started telling her, hey, where were you? Man, you left me hanging all day. Where were you? And he was like, oh, I don't know what's wrong. Some reason he didn't go to school. No, I don't know why. But so I started telling him. I said, Amy said she wanted a Falcon. And I said, boy, you know, you don't hardly play with your Star Wars stuff as much as I do. Let me take your Falcon. I'll give it to Amy. You know, I'll give it to her. Something be really, really cool. And he was like, are you crazy? That's my Falcon, man. That's my Falcon. So, you know, we put our heads together. It's like, how can we get a Falcon? How can we get a Falcon to give to Amy so she could put her Yoda or R2 in it or whatever, some girly figure, I'm sure. It wasn't a Boba Fett. She didn't have a Boba Fett, I'm sure. She might have had a Luke Skywalker. I doubt she had a Han Solo or a Boba Fett or a Darth Vader or anything. But we started brainstorming. And we remember this guy named Jeff. He lived up the road, up the hill. Jeff. Jeff was his name. He looked like a Jeff too. Today's kids don't go to school with anybody named Jeff. It's probably some trendy name, Zachary or something. But you out there, you know, if you went to school in the 80s, you know a Jeff. So unless you're Jeff. He was blonde, he looked kind of like a bird. But this kid was into Star Wars. I mean, I was into Star Wars too, but this kid was into Star Wars, and he had the kind of parents that would spoil him. I think he was the only child, so he had a lot of stuff, and I had to share my stuff with my brother. So he was really into Star Wars. But the thing is, Jeff was a little older than us. Jeff hit 11. And for some reason Star Wars wasn't as cool anymore because he found a new love called baseball. I remember he started out in T-ball and he advanced him out of T-ball like that. He was in T-ball. He was the only kid. You're supposed to be in T-ball for like a year or two. Then they move you up to the big leagues, I guess. But he was in T-ball for like a month. It was like, we got to get him out of here. We got to get him on the field. So we thought, oh, he doesn't play with his Star Wars stuff anymore. Sitting in a closet rotting away. He doesn't like Star Wars anymore. At least he thinks he's out of toys. So we said, let's go to Jeff's house. So, you know, got on our bikes, went to Jeff's house. Took a few minutes, wasn't that far away. Went to Jeff's house, knocked on the back door, well, side door under the carport. I can remember his house and I can see it right in my head. Screen door, knocked on it. Had to wait. His mom came to the door. He's like, where's Jeff? Jeff, where is it? We need Jeff. Kept asking for Jeff. And Jeff's in the back. Come on in. So we came in. He's in the living room, something watching TV. Went back to Jeff's bedroom, and you know, there he was on his. I mean, this guy's only been playing baseball or little league, whatever you want to call it, for probably half a year. But one side of his whole room, you probably know kids like this too, was just lined with trophies. I mean, this was like the Daniel Day-Lewis of Little League, I guess. He had so many trophies. I mean, he had the fastest one to first base, the first one to get a double, the most home runs, the most at-bat. He even had a trophy for the best on deck. I don't understand how do you have best on deck trophy? I don't really understand that. So we started talking to Jeff, and you know, he knew Amy, he went to school with us and everything, so he knew everybody. And you know, I talked about, didn't really want to lead on that I liked her. You know, back then you didn't want people to know you liked a girl, especially an older kid like this. I mean, it was Jeff, for God's sakes, you know. This was the big little league guy. And I think he knew. I think everybody knew I liked her. But started talking about, she said she wanted a Falcon. And then we mentioned to Jeff how Jeff has a Falcon. He doesn't play with it anymore. It's just sitting in the closet. You know, you can't play baseball with a Falcon. You know, you can't have a pitcher throw a Falcon. You can't hit it with a bat. I guess you could hit it with a bat, but the pitcher ain't gonna get across the mound. So I started asking Jeff. I said, hey, let's get that Falcon. Let me give it to Amy. I made up a sad story also about how her parents wouldn't buy her one or something, how she wanted one or something. I made some sad story. I don't remember the details. Now, you know, something to make it feel a little bit more real, more like a charity thing. Like, I can't believe we're giving this to her. But I did make sure that he understood this would be a gift from me to Amy. It wouldn't be a pool gift, pulling us all. It wouldn't be like me, Boyd, and Jeff gave this to Amy. It wouldn't be, his name wouldn't be mentioned. His name would not be mentioned. It would be thing I would thank him. Boyd would thank him, but his name wouldn't be mentioned in the giveaway. Boyd wouldn't either. It would be all on my side, the junk kid. So I started talking to him. He's like, I can't, that Falcon, man. He's like, this Falcon's. He's like, I know I don't play with Star Wars toys no more. He started stalling. Give us the Falcon. He wouldn't do it. Give us the Falcon, kid. I want to take one of those trophies off his mantle up there, just beat him on the head and take the trophy. But it come to find out, he didn't even have the Falcon. No, he didn't even have the Falcon. He gave it away, gave it to his cousin or something. He's younger than him, and he's probably running around the backyard, spinning around, throwing away, ruin the Falcon. I don't know why someone would just give a Falcon away, but there I was trying to get a Falcon, so I'm glad somebody did. So we were late, but he let me know they did have a Falcon. But it wasn't the toy Falcon that I was used to. It was, there's one I actually had also, the die-cast Falcon. Remember that? The little die-cast Falcon. So it is a Falcon. You know, we are kids, we don't have jobs, Falcon costs a lot of money. Maybe this will do. Maybe this will make her happy. Say, hey, she's got a Falcon now. She can, you know, bring it, you know, she can put it on her nightstand, whatever. I don't know what girls do with toys. I don't think she was going to play with it. I don't know what she was going to do with it. And so I started talking to Jeff, like, well, what do you want for this Falcon? What do you want for this Falcon? What can we do for this Falcon and everything? And Jeff said, I don't want it. Toys are stupid. He said, I'm almost at days want driving cars. I moved on from bicycles. I moved on from dirt bikes to 10 speeds. Oh, you knew that was a big change in your life when you went away from the dirt bike, the BMX style, and the mag wheels, and you started running a I was going to say 18-wheeler. He wasn't driving an 18-wheeler. It wasn't that cool. A 10 speed. Had gears on it and everything. It was complicated. It was ugly. But he was moving on up. So I said, well, if you can give me that Falcon, I'll owe you one. And he was like, then he hit me with, I thought I was going to get out of there without anything. You know, if I was going to get out of there without having to give anything back. And he's like, well, I got something for you, Jack Kid and Boy. I want you both to come to a Little League game with us. We're going to be playing, I don't know, he's going to be playing somebody big. And he's like, it's a very important game to me. My family's coming. I got my cousins from Tennessee coming down. I got my aunt from Florida coming up. Everybody's coming to watch me play this game. It's a big game. It's very important to me. I don't know, maybe it's like the World Series or something. I'm not really sure. And I said, come on. Come to the game. I want you there rooting, cheering me on. When I'm at bat, when I think he was a pitcher, I want you out there cheering for me, you know. What was that chant? We need a pitcher, not a belly itcher. Is that how, remember he wants me doing that, I guess, or something. But, you know, I didn't really want to go. It was probably a Saturday. Probably had cartoons to watch. I didn't have time to go to a baseball game. I could always tell him I would and then bail on him anyway. So I said, okay, me and Boyd would go. I said, Boyd was like, he didn't mind going. And I was like, okay, we'll go. So he gave me the Falcon. Couldn't believe it. I had the Falcon! I couldn't believe it. Almost kept it myself. Almost had 2 Falcons. But me and Boyd headed back home and got back to Boyd's house. Now, I don't know if I ever told y'all about Boyd's house. This was the strangest house in the neighborhood. The grass was always dead. I don't know why. The grass was always brown, dry, dead. It was like 2 suns, the Tatooine suns were just shining on his house. It was just dead grass everywhere, and bushes and everything were brown and gray. It was like death. And for some reason, he always had stuff on top of his house. You know, first it was like a frisbee on the house. You can understand, maybe a ball on the house, and then it just got worse and worse over time. Remember, there was a bicycle tire on the house one time. A bicycle house on the tire. I mean, how did a bicycle tire get on top of a house? I couldn't understand it. And then there would be like a hat up there. Just every week it was still like it was something different. Now, which is odd because someone would get it and get taking stuff down because it would disappear, but then there'd be something else in its place. It's always like just one thing on the house. It was one time there was a lawnmower up there. I still hadn't figured that one out. There was a lawnmower on top of the house. I mean, this kid had everything in the house. Very, very weird. I guess they bought something new or got something. The first thing they want to do was throw it up in the house. I had a lot of stuff get caught in the gutters, but nothing big like they did. But we got back to Boyd's house, and Boyd hit me with something I hadn't thought about yet. He said, what if, when Amy said she wanted a falcon, what if she was talking about she wanted a big giant bird, a real falcon? I got slapped him beside the head. I said, no kid wants a falcon. You don't put a falcon in a cage. You just don't. Now, if she said she wanted a parrot, I could understand. I don't know. Red robin, maybe. I don't know. A whippoorwill or something. But nobody wants a falcon. Nobody wants a falcon. So don't even get me, because I'll second guess myself and I'll think, oh my God, the girl wants a falcon, and I'll be back in the woods trying to catch a falcon with a damn net or something. So I was like, no, she wants this falcon. What makes it easier if we got the smaller one? It was a lot easier to get to school. So here it was the next day. Boyd was feeling better, of course, and gonna get Amy this falcon. Now, I had it in my book bag all day. I was like, where do I give it? Do I give her at the beginning of the day? And I was like, no, then she's got to carry it around all the time. She's got to tell people, but then she might tell her friends, hey, Junkman gave me a falcon. And they're like, oh, he's so even if I don't win Amy's love, Amy's affection, maybe Danielle, maybe Jenny. We had about 5 Jennies in the class. Jenny 1, Jenny 2, Jenny 3. Maybe one of them would, ask me out. Ask me to take them to showbiz or something. But I decided to wait. Decided to wait until the end of the day. Figured that was the best time to wait, because we would all go out in the front and wait for our right bus. Sadly, she didn't ride the same bus as me, so I had to stand in my little area to get on my bus and down there and hope no one would see me, because if I went down to her area and missed a week, our bus driver saw, so it was all hell to pay. It was hell to pay. These kids, back then, they didn't care what you did, as long as you was in your right space. I don't know, I could have killed somebody. I could have brought a shitty to school, and I probably did, and nobody cared. But if I wasn't in my right space to get on that bus, oh my God. Thing is, if I was talking on the bus, they'd kick me out. They kicked me off the bus 20 miles away from my home and didn't care how I got home, just leave me on the side of the road. But I had to be in that little spot to get on the bus. If I moved out of that little spot, oh man, it was hell to pay. So I got Boyd to kind of keep an eye on the teachers and Mr. Weeks, who was getting the bus. He was the bus driver, Mr. Weeks. And I got, so you keep your eye on everything, you whistle or something, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to see Amy really quick. See, she's about to get on the bus. She's standing on the line. Hadn't time to load up the bus yet. I don't know what took so long to load the buses. We walk out there, the buses will be all lined up. We'd be in our right section. It would take us forever. The bus door would be open. Wouldn't be nobody on the bus. I don't know. It's not like we loaded the bus by grade or ages or anything. I don't understand why it took so long. I think they just like making us stand around and wait. But went up to Amy. I was like, hey, Amy, what's up? And she, hey, John Kid, hey, and talked a little bit. I don't know. She's probably annoyed, I was probably telling us something about the latest episode of Tales of the Gold Monkey or something. I was like, hey, Amy, I got something for you. I heard, I didn't want to tell her I was eavesdropping. So I was like, I heard somebody told me that you wanted a falcon really bad. That you really wanted a falcon. And she's like, yeah, I was telling my brother just the other night too, I want a falcon. We're talking about, I was like, oh man, awesome. Well, I got a falcon for you. You got a falcon for me? And I was like, well, I told her it was mine. So I was fine, I don't really care for it anymore. And once I found out you wanted it, I said, hey, it's better than mine just sitting around, sitting in the closet, not doing anything. I'll give it to you. She's like, oh, you're so sweet. I like hearing that. I was like, oh, I'm sweet. I was like, yeah, my mom's right. I am pretty sweet. So I put down my book bag, throw it down, unzipped it, reached in there, felt that falcon, felt like old fried hamburger, pulled it out, gave it to her, and she took that falcon, looked at it, looked at me, then a little laugh came, a little girly laugh. And it's not that, oh, you're so sweet laugh. No, it was, you're so stupid. You're so stupid. Such a nerd laugh, you know. And at this time, others started to gather around. You had Danielle and a couple of other genies come over, and maybe another Amy. We had a lot of Amy's in the class too, coming over, you know, kind of laughing like, what are you doing with that? And then I spoke, well, now you have a Falcon. That's what I said. Now you have a Falcon. Not catching on that I was being laughed at. I was being laughed at. Now you have a Falcon. And she's like, I was talking about Atlanta Falcons jersey, cause Danielle had a jersey of the Falcons, and everybody was really into the Falcons for some reason. Well, we lived in Georgia, so it was the Atlanta Falcons, and we were talking about the Falcon, and I was telling my brother, because he has one now, I'd like to have a Falcon jersey also. I didn't hear the jersey part, I just heard the Falcon part. My ears cut off. I heard something Star Wars related, and I filled in all the gaps. So instead of just taking my Falcon home, she handed it back to me. I looked over, I could see Boyd looking at me with a biggest smile on his face. Biggest smile. This guy, he knew he was loving it. I don't know why he was loving it. But there he was smiling at me. She handed me back the Falcon. I just stood there and dropped it right into my book bag from my hand. Didn't even put it back in, didn't just let it drop, picked it back up. And she and her friends were still a little giggly about it, and I was like, well, if I have a Falcon shirt, I'll bring you one. And by this time they were like, you know, they turned around and started talking or something. It was like I wasn't even there. No goodbye, no thank you, nothing, no just goodbye. So I turned around, there's Boyd looking at me, and I had to do the walk of shame back, you know, the walk back over there. She wore a shirt of the Falcons, which would have been easier. I could at least got her a shirt with the Falcons on it. That could have been a lot easier. So, you know, I got back on the bus. Boyd sat next to me, and I'll give it to Boyd as a friend. He never mentioned it. You know, he could have ragged me. If I would have ragged him, oh my God, I would have ragged him all the way home on that bus, probably all weekend. I would have given him shit about it. But he didn't say nothing to me. We never spoke of the moment again. No one's ever even spoke of it until right now. I don't think he's probably, I don't know what Boyd's doing nowadays, but I bet he's never even told anybody. But then, a few days later, Saturday, a nice Saturday, nice outside, probably about 75 degrees, really nice outside, nice day. 9 o'clock in the damn morning on a Saturday, 9 o'clock. On a Saturday morning, 9 o'clock on Saturday. What am I doing? What am I doing? Sitting on a hard bench outside watching a kid I barely know that I really don't like too much playing Little League. 9 innings, if I'm lucky. 9, what is that, 4 hours? 9 innings if I'm lucky. Next to me is who? My best friend Boyd? So he can cut up and joke around? No, Boyd couldn't make it. I don't know who was next to me. His aunt from Florida. I was there with his family. All these strangers. I didn't know. The only kid I knew was Jeff, and he was out there on the pitcher mound. So, I didn't get Amy's attention. Well, I guess in a way I did get her attention. She laughed at me. I didn't get to give her the Falcon jersey that she wanted. Had to sit through a stupid Little League game that I couldn't get out of. Saturday, I had the Alvin and the Chipmunks to watch. I had to get home and watch Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't have time for sports. I watched the game. I stayed till it was over because his parents was one driving. I don't know if he won. I don't know what happened. But that's the story of the Falcon. I guess the only good point of this is that, hey, I got 2 die-cast Falcons. 2 die-cast Falcons, and hey, I still have 2 of them today. I still got both of them today. I wouldn't pull them out here, but I didn't want to go dig through boxes for it, but I should have. I could show you. I still have 2 Falcons. Well, that's the story. Hopefully you enjoyed that story. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you cut this video off. You didn't even see this part. But anyway, thank you for watching. Thumb up, subscribe, do all that, and hey, we'll be back again. 2 videos a day. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.